Hello, Taurus. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Taurus, but you already know that if you are my ride or die, right? Thanks for showing up here again if you are the ride or die, and if you're brand new, welcome. I've got a couple of decks here, the Soul's Journey Oracle, and we've got some Kipper we're going to look at. Whew, this is take number, 1016 or something over the last couple days. Just was not coming out, y'all. Those readings were not, my brain was not wrapping around anything. So let's see if this works, Taurus. See what's going on here. I keep changing decks to see if that's the issue. Let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's figure out what's going on for Taurus in the week ahead. If you're brand new, welcome. If you'd like to stay, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this square where I live. Let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus. All right. Got fear on the bottom of the deck. So we have forgiveness, we have doubt, and we have failure. So we have forgiveness. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Doubt says, I release the need to know all the answers. And failure says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So I feel like you're doubting yourself, Taurus, is what it feels like here. It also feels like somebody here might be acknowledging that a block that they placed with someone else is not just the block they placed with that person. That this is actually the inability to give forgiveness, whether you let that person back in your life or not, Taurus. The inability to give forgiveness is, or to accept it, is something that will put a block in all of your relationships, your friendships, your relationships, your love ships. All the ships get a block. And so I feel like somebody here is like, okay, well, considering maybe I don't need to know all the answers, maybe I'm just going to say, I'm going to let it go. And look, you don't have to call them and say, I forgive you. You don't have to look at them face to face and say, I forgive you. You can quietly in your heart decide that I forgive them and I'm just going to let it go. And that's for your peace, Taurus. It's not for theirs. So I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And it feels like you're ready to learn, I want to say. I feel like somebody here is in fear of what may happen if they do release control to the universe. So it says, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And in the energy of love, we don't look at things as failure. We look at things as opportunities to learn from something that didn't work out. So it does feel like here that somebody still doesn't have the answers. Maybe it was somebody ghosted you. Maybe it was somebody blocked you. Maybe you don't have the answers, but I think this Taurus is asking you to please let go. And if you're a person who has a little bit of fear of doing that, I feel like you're being asked to be brave and let it go. Let's see what else the Kipper has to say here. That's a whole lot for just some oracles. I'm just saying. You're giving me good energy today, Taurus. Let's find out what's going on with forgiveness. Harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. It does. Any place you have love. We have the official person. So it does feel like somebody is officially ending something or officially removing the block. I think that officially it feels like you've decided you're no longer going to harbor resentment to the past or to the person in the past or the job in the past or the situation in the past. When we harbor resentment, it stops the flow of love. It stops us from moving forward. So we do have the official person, who's card number 22, which tells me that you're going to get some stability when you decide that it is time to let it go. The official person for some of you could mean that it is maybe a judge or a magistrate. Maybe you're embroiled in some sort of a legal thing. And it doesn't mean that you have to give up on your legal thing. It just means that maybe you just need to take a look at the person for who they are and maybe forgive them for what they do not know. So it says, I release the need to know all the answers. Instead of having doubt within yourself, I think you're going to release it. It says here, the false person. So, sometimes when people do us wrong, when they do us dirty, we're like, why would they do that? Why would you do that to me? And I gave you everything. Why would you do that to me? I feel like the false person is the one that I feel you need to release. It's time for you to give up this thing of not knowing all the answers. Why did they leave? Why did they ghost? Why did our marriage break up? Maybe this is a divorce. But it feels like somebody here needs to learn the lessons and not look at it as a failure. Because I don't think it's a failure. All right, let's find out what's going on. One more card. We've got a child. Look, For those of you who are dealing in a tumultuous situation where you do have children or a child, I think that's what we're talking about. I was just speaking with my son the other day about this, that, I got divorced after 21 years, and I would do it all over again and go through all the terrible things that I went through. Not all of them were bad, but I go through all the terrible things that I went through just to get my son. So I would say that the cycle that you're supposed to learn from is, even maybe though the relationship failed or we can't move forward in the relationship, maybe a beautiful new thing came from that, whether it's a child or a new beginning with somebody else. But I feel like right now you don't see it because this is card number 18 and this is the moon energy, because I feel like right now you're really deeply in your emotions, Taurus, about something that didn't work out in your favor. Because literally, I think somebody was lying to you or cheated on you, or, was a false person, somebody who you thought you knew, you really didn't know them. And I think you need to stop figuring out why they did you dirty, figuring out why, obsessively thinking about why. We've got marriage. For some of you, it could be a marriage. And for some of you, this fear in marriage could mean that now you don't trust people going forward. It could be that as well. It says, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Taurus, I have a new deck. It's not really new. It's Rider-Waite, but it's newish. It's one of those ones that is all shiny, right? And I got this one on Etsy. Paranormal Pete is the store I got it from. And so yeah, I'm going to use these ones today. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Taurus, if you're interested in a private read, private reads are open. And please look in the pinned comment for the link to Hipsy. Now, Hipsy is a sister site to Wizio. If you already have a username and password for Wizio, and if you've already booked there, I already see it on Hipsy, so no need to worry. But that's where I'll be booking from now on. Go into the pinned comment. There's also live calls that I'm going to be doing there. Tell me about Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Taurus, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Three of Cups, and we have the Ace of Swords. So it does feel like with the Eight of Wands and forgiveness here, it's time to let it go. I'm going to say, in order to move forward, it feels like you just are going to have to let it go. And forgiveness, like I said, does not have to be face-to-face. You don't have to forgive that person. And just because you might forgive them, it doesn't mean that they're allowed access to you again. You can forgive them and keep them outside the boundary. So I feel like it could be a legal situation you're dealing in with somebody, whether it's over money or marriage or children or assets or whatever it is. I feel like you need to forgive the situation in order to let it go, and not for them though, but for you. And I think that's what's been holding you back. I feel like this Eight of Wands here is telling me that's sort of what's going to allow you to move forward here. It's going to allow you to have a big burst of energy forward here. And then we have, I release the need to know all of the answers. And look, it follows up with the Three of Cups. So it tells me that there's celebration here. That when you finally do let go, you forgive, and you realize that you don't need to know all the answers, you need to stop thinking about why things happened the way that they did. I feel like you get some clarity and realization with the Ace of Swords. And we have this opportunity to learn. So learning is swords, right? It's clarity. It's getting clarity about something and being able to speak it out loud. Tell me why the Eight of Wands is here, please, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Got the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I think what it is, Taurus, is it's really hard to forgive somebody here because they lied to you. It feels like there was some deceit involved. Somebody tried to get away with something, and I feel like you caught it. We have the Two of Wands, and so because you saw it, because you saw the deceit, you had to take action, right? The Two of Wands is here. So it feels like you then had to put a plan in place. I've got to take action to do something. I can't just sit here and let them take advantage of me like that. Tell me why the Two of Wands is here. We do have the Seven of Cups, and so it's a very confusing energy, very confusing time for you. I feel like the confusion is going to clear. I feel like right now, for some of you, whoever this resonates with, it feels like you feel really emotionally broken, or you feel like you've been emotionally broken open. It feels like there is an energy of feeling confused about what am I going to do from here? How do I ever forgive this person? Let's put a couple cards down for that. How can you forgive them, Taurus? We've got the Ten of Pentacles. It does seem like it was a long-term something or other. Might be a long-term relationship or a marriage. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. We've got the Moon card, and we've got the Hierophant. So it does feel like it was something that was long-term. I feel like I feel like what you need to do in order to let them go is to realize that, everybody has imperfections. I feel as though you thought it was going to last forever, but it didn't. I feel like the moon is here and things weren't as they seemed. I feel like you were dealing with a false person, possibly. And look, this doesn't have to be in love. We do have the Hierophant that can represent commitment, but it also represents structure and large things that are bigger than you. It also tells you to reach into the higher self, to think, to get your answers, right? To reach into the higher self. I feel like you thought it was going to be forever, but the moon is here. And so when the moon is here, things aren't as they seem. So I feel like it was something that you feel like you got taken advantage of, or something that you missed. That's what it feels like here. I feel like you can let go of the doubt, and it's time for you to celebrate or find your group of people. I feel like people who will support you. I feel like somebody here is scared to do that because of the false person, right? Somebody got past your radar, Taurus. That's what it feels like here. We've got the Six of Wands. We've got the Page of Cups, and we have the Nine of Wands. So this situation here, whatever it was, it could have been a job that fired you or let you go for whatever reason that you felt just wasn't a reason that was clear. Could be a marriage that broke up, because the lawyer is here. To me, this is the King of Swords, who is the lawyer, the judge, the magistrate. It also could just be a long-term commitment. So maybe you weren't married. Maybe you're just in a long-term commitment with someone. And it does feel like here that this is what is giving you doubt. I feel like it's giving you doubt that you'll ever be happy again. But I feel like the Six of Wands is telling me that you have come through the worst of it, Taurus. The Six of Wands is telling me that you are stepping across the finish line, that you are coming out of the war, coming out of the fight. The Page of Cups tells me there's good news coming. Something good is coming from all of this. What's coming from all of this, I feel, is that you are deciding that you're never going to try and control the situation, that you're never going to make yourself feel stuck in the Nine of Wands because you don't have all the answers, because you can't get someone to apologize, or you can't get someone to see the situation the way you see it. And I feel like false people are false people, right? And some people just keep the mask on until they can no longer keep the mask on. We've all been in situations like this, right? Whether they've been marriages or relationships, some of them are friendships, right? And some, the longer we stay, the longer we choose not to see the situation for what it is, the longer it stays, right? It says, I release the need to know all the answers. So I think that you need to stop terrorizing yourself. I think there's a new soul tribe coming, is what I want to say. So for those of you who maybe are not necessarily, maybe, like sometimes when a marriage breaks up or a relationship breaks up, you lose touch with their friends, they lose touch with your friends. And I feel like the Page of Cups is telling me that something new is coming with the Three of Cups. So something new, like a soul tribe or excitement, or maybe a new social life. It feels like it's time for you to try and heal the wounded warrior. I want to say just hang in there, Taurus, because something new is coming along. And I think that it comes along only after you gain some sort of clarity about, that failure really isn't a thing. We never fail. Like when things break down, it's just because we didn't see it soon enough that we weren't supposed to be in that situation. It wasn't meant to last forever. Even when we stepped right into it off the precipice, over the threshold, it was not meant to last forever, and that's why it broke down. So I feel like you're getting some clarity about that. I feel like you're coming to a place here where you've got a little bit of clarity about failure, because I really don't think this was a failure. I think this was an opportunity for you to learn, and I think that that maybe you call it a mistake, but I feel like something beautiful came from it. And it feels like maybe a child came from it. Or relationships are not all bad. We wouldn't have stepped into the relationship if it was terrible all the way through. And so I feel like something beautiful came from it. So for some of you, it could be a child. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. But for some of you, I think what you got from it was clarity. You learned a lesson. Tell me about the Ace of Swords, please. We've got the High Priestess. Yeah, what you got out of it was intuition, friend. That's what it was. It sharpened your intuition. We've got Justice here. I wonder how these are showing up on camera here. We've got Justice here, and we've got the Star. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. Like you now understand what wish fulfillment is, and it wasn't the cycle you just went through. So now you have a marker. right? Now you have a marker. Now the next time somebody shows up in your life who has these markers, you're going to be able to see it immediately. So we do have the Ace of Swords right next to the High Priestess, which is kind of beautiful because I feel like you're getting clarity within the soul. I feel like you're getting clarity within the intuition. But I feel like you're going to keep it to yourself because I feel like when we get into this place where we're sort of reckoning with ourselves in the dark, right? Card number 18 is the moon, and the moon has shown up here. So we're wrestling with ourselves in the dark. It feels like that's what's going on with the Five of Pentacles and the High Priestess, that you're not really telling anybody. But I want to say that when you come to this clarity of the Ace of Swords, it's going to be the Ten of Cups. You're going to realize that everything works out the way it should because it should. And that you will be much happier on the other side of this. And the only way to be able to get to the other side of this is to decide to step right into the fear. It says, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So we all step into some sort of relationship, friendship, job, whatever it is, hoping it's going to be the last one. And sometimes it's just not. And I don't think you should beat yourself up about that. All right. Tell me what the outcome is here for Taurus, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Six of Pentacles, we've got the Six of Cups, and we've got the Tower. So I feel like you have a realization and a shift in mindset, Taurus. You have this shift in mindset that I'm not going to stop giving reciprocal energy to people. I'm not going to close myself off and stop giving reciprocal energy to people. I'm going to continue to do that because I feel like you still haven't met all of your soulmates. And we all have many, right? So sometimes people get stuck on one soulmate. We all have many soulmates, and they all come to help us along our path. They are your family. They are your friends. They are your the people who are, working with you. They are people who are alongside of you in this life. So I feel like you have this really big shift of realization as it pertains coming to the end of the week next week. It does feel like you're going to have some sort of a shift in your thinking, a shift in your heart space, and a realization that just because one person did me dirty, it doesn't mean all of them will. We've got the Seven of Wands, so I feel like you will keep your back to the wall for a little bit yet here, but I feel like there's movement. The Chariot is here. You've got a big burst of energy into the future here. I kind of love that. And you've got some healing with the Four of Swords, and look, the Death card is here. So I hope you can see those. They kind of look pretty, don't they, on camera a little bit? So we got the Death card, and it's coming up next to the Four of Swords. So I feel like there is some healing that needs to be done here, that maybe you still have some regrets about the way things turned out, but we're looking into the future now with the Three of Wands, and there's a big burst of energy going into the future. I've decided that now I have boundaries, because I think that's what this taught you, Taurus. I think it taught you that now I have boundaries. I'm going to keep everybody on the outside of the boundaries and let them do what they're going to do. And I'm going to keep my promises to myself. And this won't happen again because I'll see them coming. Yeah. I'm going to leave that right there, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Whoo, I finally got it out. Yay. I broke through the barrier. All right. You're going to get a lot of readings coming out in the next couple of days. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I am always back. Never lay down, y'all. Just keep going. Keep coming back and trying. All right. I'm going to go for now. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.